Welcome to the Hustle Wing podcast. Today we are joined by Sam Kellett, the founder and CEO of Aware or CBW Aware, or is it Aware CBW?
CBW, that's right.
CBW, which
Custom
is
Biometric Wearables Inc.
there you go, which is
A
which is
mouthful.
an acronym for Custom Biometric Wearables. We're going to chat to him about his company today, get to know him, and get into the get into a good thing. So thank you so much for joining us, Sam. Thank you for your time. I'm sure you're super busy with the holidays approaching, so I do appreciate you sharing your time with us. How are you? How are you doing today?
Well, I got my shopping done, Izzy, so I'm doing fantastic.
This
Okay.
early?
Yes,
Oh,
yes. And by the way, thank you for inviting us this early. Yeah, look at you. Wow. Wow. You're definitely coming under the wire. Okay. Right now you might even be on that naughty list. Okay.
I I probably am because it's very last minute for me, but we'll make it work.
I got it. I got it as long as you make it under the gun.
Awesome. So talk to me. What is Aware? What do you guys do?
So we do continuous monitoring and precision therapeutics, but for the brain, but just in a device you wear in your everyday life, like a headphone or a hearing
Uh-huh.
aid or hearing protection. So
Okay.
in the military, we're putting sensors within their hearing protection.
Oh, okay, okay. So what does it is it for anyone or is it for the military? Or like who is it for?
Yeah, so it's for the U.S. military. It's for workers in very difficult environments.
Mm.
It's also for consumers as well. And so, when we talk about precision therapeutics or precision
Yeah,
medicine, that
yeah.
that's applicable to everybody. And
I,
precision therapeutics really starts with precision anatomy, Izzy. And so we have developed the only technology in the world that can capture a certain location inside the human ear in the
uh-huh.
second bin or bony region. And when we
Okay.
place our sensors in that region, that's when we can sense the brain and stimulate the brain with real medical efficacy. So right
Wow.
now, and that's a custom device with our sensors built in situ, but
Hmm.
that's why big tech can't get a biometric signal today because every ear is different and they're literally like snowflakes. So we're
Yeah.
able to leverage the full anatomy of the human ear to obtain a medical grade signal. And when you do that, that's when you can do precision therapeutics. You can build both companion pharmacological therapies and non pharmacological therapies.
Okay, that's awesome. So what break it down for me in layman's terms. What is precision therapy like
Yeah,
specifically?
so precision therapeutics. So right now in the world, we're like at a 10. So say, Izzy, you take a pill, not
Yeah.
that you need any medication, okay, at all, okay, but let's just say for some reason you did, okay,
Okay.
and you take a pill, and right now we don't really know how our vitals and the brain are reacting. So
Yeah.
we're at, 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, we're like at a 1 with precision therapeutics. Well, if I've got sensors in a headphone and you take that pill and now I can get your vitals that are medical grade that I can count on, I can get
Oh,
brain activity. Now I
uh-huh.
can have a feedback loop and then we could titrate the medication, maximize the effectiveness, dial in the dosage, right? Now,
Okay.
yeah. And then the other part, the ear is a physiological playground. It obviously, helps that the ear's next to the brain
Yeah.
unlike the watch, and also major bloodlines. So that's where you can also deliver both pharmacological and non pharmacological therapies. And in layman's term, a pharmacological therapy is I'm going to take a pill, and then the hearable is going to enhance the performance of the pill. And I can give you an example if you want.
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah. So for example, there's a major pharmaceutical company
Okay.
that's invented this pill for cyclic vomiting syndrome. Izzy, this is horrific. You throw up for a week and then you got to go to the hospital. But if you take this company's pill, during what they call the prodrome phase, then
Uh-huh.
you're not throwing up for a week. But the problem is you can't identify the prodrome phase. So our hearable using EEG, electroencephalogram, which is brain, heart rate, and then also ECG, or excuse me, core temp. With that, with an algorithm on top, we can then identify that prodrome phase and alert the patient to take that pill. Now, it's not just CVS that has a prodrome phase. Epilepsy has a prodrome phase. Panic attacks has a prodrome phase, as
Okay.
well as migraine headaches. So that's just one companion therapy. All right.
Wow.
Now, what's also interesting about the ear is that, like I said, it's a physiological playground. The scan, we're scanning the ear, and that's what unlocks or enables everything I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But the second part of this is on the non-pharmacological side, is that you have Arnold's nerve, which is the auricular branch of the vagus nerve that is deep inside the ear in the second bin, which is that location that only we can obtain
Yeah.
in its natural state. And with that, you can stimulate the vagus nerve inside the ear, and those therapies can help you with sleep. You can stim
Hmm.
for sleep. You can induce a micro nap, as an example. And with EEG, you can actually see the sleep stages. There's no wearable on the market that can really truly tell you how you're sleeping,
Yeah.
right? It's all a
Oh.
correlation. And then you can deliver STEM therapies for anxiety, for depression, for obesity. There's some really, and it's calming the inflammation, so it also helps with epilepsy, Parkinson's, and many other horrific, diseases. There's also
Wow.
acoustical therapies you can deliver, say for like tinnitus. That's a huge problem, within the military. By the
Yeah.
way, the military has, and I don't know if you know this, but when we scan the ear, we make much more effective headphones, hearing protection, and hearing aids. So rock stars today, they're wearing custom ear monitors. They're typically made from our 3D ear scan. Okay. And so it's a much more effective headphone. Mick Jagger's on stage with those
Yeah.
because they are more effective. It blocks the noise. He can hear everybody better.
Yeah.
It's just a better headphone, right? Because every ear is different and it fits perfectly.
Yeah.
Same with hearing protection. We're much deeper in the ear. We got a better seal. But in the U.S. military, and this is horrific, they have $4.2 billion a year in disability claims due to hearing loss and tinnitus. Izzy, that is 200,000 new warfighters a year that are
Wow.
experiencing severe hearing loss. And so the reason why is that they're wearing these foamies, hearing protection,
Yeah.
and they only put them in correctly 8% of the time. So they're wearing them. They're thinking they're being protected
Yeah.
around a jet engine or a gun, and they're actually experiencing hearing loss. So when you wear, this is my ear, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, and then here I'm going to put this in. You see that?
Uh-huh.
Very snug. So
It's
I
super
can only
snuggle.
wear it correctly, or I can't wear it at all, and that's
Yeah.
deep into my second bin. Okay. Now
Wow.
I'm gonna show you something else that goes back to sensing and
Okay.
why this doesn't work for big tech right now. But look at this. It doesn't
It's
move.
all out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the issue with sensing is that you have motion artifacts or noise. So a headphone that doesn't fit, if it's moving around, that creates noise, and your signal's worthless, no matter what you're trying to get.
Yeah.
So that's why your universal one size fits all devices, can't get a medical grade signal that you can do all
Yeah.
these, cool things with. So backing up on the military, we have our own, we have our scanner where you
Uh-huh.
3D scan the warfighter's ears, and then we are able to 3D print, these custom hearing protection devices that you can
Wow.
then wear, 30 hours a week, and you don't even know they're in. They fit so well. But more
Okay.
importantly, we're protecting the warfighter 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And then that fit is what optimizes the performance of sensors, where you can do other things, like what we're doing in Aware Health, what we're
Yeah.
doing in Aware Industrial as well. We partnered with a major health system, and
Uh-huh.
so we're developing continuous monitoring applications with them around heart, around neuro.
Okay.
We're also developing therapies with them as well, co-developing therapies that will
Awesome.
also not only help your everyday patient consumer, but also warfighters.
Wow. Okay. I had no idea that you could do that much just from your ear. Like, you've just opened my
It's a
mind.
launch pad. It's a launch pad. But I mean, it makes sense, and
Yeah.
we're not getting biometrics today, but it's not intuitive, right?
Mm,
And it's because every year is different. They're literally like snowflakes. They have
yeah.
more unique identifiers than a fingerprint. Now, we started with the hearing aid industry. We partnered with the entire hearing aid industry. They put over $20 million into our 3D ear scanner.
Yeah.
And their problem is that they had 2 million remakes a year, meaning you'd go get a silicone impression, which is what this is. They'd squirt the stuff in your ear,
Yeah.
and then it would harden, but it would artificially inflate the canal. And
Oh,
so they get their hearing aid, didn't fit at all, and especially you go deep in the ear, you got to be perfect because it's
yeah.
bone, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's you're off by a millimeter, it's excruciating. You can't wear it. So they then have to go back and do another silicone impression, get another hearing aid. And
Mm.
so our methodology with our scanner, and we'd love to scan you sometime. I'm sure you got some amazing ears. Okay. And by the way, next year we're scanning like 20,000 people. So we
Awesome.
need you to be in there, okay?
I'm
But
signed up.
so the scan itself, though, we're only picking up data when we don't touch the human ear. So we're scanning in a non contact way. And that's how we're
Oh,
able to capture the true geometry of the human ear in its
yeah.
natural state. And then from all the different experiments we did, that's what we figured out that you can do so much more, with this. Now,
Crazy.
we did an IRB at Emory Brain Center,
Uh-huh.
and Takeda Pharmaceutical paid for that. And so this is super cool. We had the patients were epilepsy patients,
Okay.
and so they had 200 electrodes embedded in their brain.
Wow.
And so what that gave you is it was the actual ground truth of the brain signal. That's the
Yeah.
actual signal because it's deep in the brain, and they had to undergo major brain surgery to do that. And
Yeah.
so we had scanned them before the operation. We made them, custom headphones
Mm-hmm.
with dry electrode sensors we invented.
Okay.
And then they wore this headphone for a week. They slept in it. And one of
Uh-huh.
the aims was to make sure that they could wear it for a week.
Okay.
And turns out we compared favorably to the ground truth, all right, in a headphone. Now, the next thing as well is that, and there's how they do EEG today is like this 10-20
That thing.
montage of wet
Yeah.
electrode. Yeah, you look like Predator, right?
Yeah.
And so ours are dry electrodes that you can
Yeah.
wear, every day. Well, every seizure the patients had, we were able to pick up, even if it was on the top of the head, and we're just at the
Oh.
temporal lobe. So in essence, it's a whole new signal from the brain. It enables you to
Yeah.
be ambulatory and get longitudinal data, and once again, it's in a device you wear in your everyday life. But now we have real context. Whether I'm sleeping or
Yeah.
fighting, like the war fighter, or running or whatever.
Yeah.
And that context is really going to help us as we're getting a ton of data,
Yeah.
moving forward.
This
So
is
there's a
so
lot of things you can do with that AI.
interesting.
Well, thank you for saying that. I appreciate it.
Awesome. So, how long have you guys been running for? It must have taken you years to do all the research.
Well, Izzy, we are an overnight success. It just took us 12 years to get here.
I
So
like
yeah,
that.
no, it's been a long journey, my friend. A
Hey.
long starting, with the hearing aid industry, and then working with big tech, and then
Yeah.
and the military, and now and then pharma. So it's
Yeah.
been there's a lot we've had to discover, along
Yeah.
this journey.
Awesome. So then what's the long-term goal? Where do you see this ending up?
So ideally, it's this is what you're wearing, and it becomes your electronic, pharmacy,
Yeah.
and
Awesome.
it's a better headphone or hearing protection, and we help protect your hearing, whatever.
Yeah.
You use it to talk on the phone, listen to music, and then we're getting great data, and then can deliver you therapies.
Yeah. I
And
love
then
that.
or it's a companion, and we're helping you titrate with a pharmacological, a pill,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
And so that's the long term, goal, and we're doing it in B2B markets. We're doing it within the U.S. military, who's rolling
Yeah.
out our scanners to the entire naval fleet.
Yeah.
We're doing it within industrial and really tough environments
Yeah.
for major companies that have 85 and DB environments or chemical issues,
Yeah.
biological issues, and
Okay.
then we're doing it, in the health system as well. I don't know if that answers your
It does.
question, but our primary goal, which is not Izzy, it's not very ambitious, but it's to help everyone with a pair of ears.
It's very humble. I love that. I always complain about earphones. My earphones are always slipping out. So you had me when you
Right.
started shaking your head and it didn't come out. I was like, okay, I
Right.
like this.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what optimizes the performance finally of sensors and
Yeah.
enables us to get brain.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about a healthy brain, much
Okay.
less a disease brain, and that's because we can't
Mhm.
get ambulatory longitudinal data on
Yeah.
the brain. You got to go to a hospital, take you 3 months to get an appointment. You're there 3 to 5 days, which you don't have that time, and you may
Yeah.
or may not get any useful information.
Yeah. That's so true.
The brain's kind of important too, you know.
Just a little bit. Okay, cool. So then what are some of the challenges that you guys are facing at Aware at the moment?
So we're growing very rapidly, and
Mm.
so that's always a challenge for entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
as you know, and bringing in professional management for very different. Even though all our industries are synergistic as it relates to our products,
Yeah.
you have different challenges in the U.S. military than you say have at a
Yeah.
large company, right? Or there's different issues within a health system than there is in the
Mm.
military, and so
Yeah.
you've got to have your subject matter experts for not just the industries, but also the different therapies themselves
Yeah.
and
Definitely.
for the devices. And then there's the manufacturing component that we've dialed in to scale to many millions of units. That was not
Yeah.
easy, but
Yeah.
that's an ongoing challenge, and you got
Yeah.
to be great every time.
Of
And
course.
every product is different because it's
Yeah.
custom,
Exactly. That
right?
must be that must be tough as well. I mean, I'm sure that's a whole process to make sure that each person gets the right product.
Yeah, and that's yeah, and it's just that, of course, there's a lot of similar processes that go into it, but your right ear is different than your left ear, is he? I mean,
Is it?
oh yeah, oh yeah,
So
and
each
so
actual ear is different.
yes, yeah, a ear has more unique identifiers than a fingerprint.
This is crazy.
Yeah, and so the whole modeling So I scan your ear, it then goes to CAD, and then we model whatever is a headphone, as a hearing aid, as a hearing protection,
Yeah.
and then you're putting sensors in there as well. And so, but
Yeah.
that's got to happen, like
Step
clockwork
by
every
step.
time,
Yeah.
right? And the military needs to receive it on time. I mean, there's
Mm.
there's there's time requirements,
Yeah.
associated with it because you got to protect those warfighters.
Of course. Of course.
A
Definitely.
day without it, I mean, an hour without it, they could
Cost so
experience
much.
major hearing loss.
Yeah. Understood. So then lastly, I guess my last question is what sort of assistance would you need from our community?
I don't know. I don't know enough. I don't know enough, but I'm sure my friend Izzy can help us out,
Okay,
help us
so we
explain that.
have we have major talent in all the major functions. Are you looking for would you be interested in listening to people that would pitch you in the marketing function? Do you have like a strategy in place, or are you hiring in that?
Not on the
Okay.
marketing function, but we're looking for employees, especially those that can do operate our scanner, and where we can come in and scan war fighters or scan folks in
Okay.
the industrial environment or in healthcare. That's
Okay.
something that we're going to be hiring a lot of people to do that. We've got,
Okay.
like I said, we'll have to scan over 20,000 people
Yeah.
next year. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. And then what sort of would you have to have like a background in health for that?
no, that's the
No?
beauty is that you don't, you just need to be trained by us, and pretty much any hourly employee can scan an ear. Before,
Really?
that's why you don't see mass customization
Yeah.
is that you'd have to be certified to do a silicone impression because I could puncture your eardrum. And
Oh gosh.
so, yeah, I know, not good, not
Yeah.
good. And it was terribly inaccurate on top of that. So, with
Okay.
optic, we're within microns of accuracy,
Yeah.
like under 5 microns. So 5 microns is literally the hair between the eyes of a fly.
You have to be within 5 microns.
That's where we are with our optics, and we can
Oof.
be that way because we're optically,
Yeah.
scanning the ear. So
Okay. Okay. And then, so you're looking for scan operators. Do they have to be in a specific area, or is it anywhere in the U.S.?
it's anywhere in the U.S. We like, we're based in Atlanta. We've got a lab in San Diego as well.
Mm-hmm.
So really, those two locations are ideal. But at
Okay.
the same time, they're going to be traveling
Yeah.
literally all over the world. So
Ooh. Okay. Cool.
just we
All
have to
right.
go get specific demographics at times for
Yeah.
for big tech.
Noted, noted. Okay. Well, then thank you so much, Sam, for, chatting with me and sharing all this information. Like, I am going to do a lot more research here because I have learned a lot. And so thank you. Thank you for your time and for, teaching little old me and indulging our community. We'll definitely be connecting again soon.
Absolutely, and have a happy holiday and get that shopping done, Izzy. Come on,
Thank
dude.
you. Oh, I know, right? Thank you
I
so
mean,
much.
I, I don't know. I'm glad I'm not related to Izzy right now.
If my mom would watch this now, she'll be so
Right.
disappointed.
You said it, not me. Maybe you ought to skip the next few interviews and go
I might be
shopping, my
absent for a
friend.
little bit. Thanks
All right. Well,
again. Have
listen,
a lovely
great to
day.
meet you.
You
Thank
too.
you. Bye bye.
Bye.